guys, I know it's been a while. Probably going to be even longer if this guy doesn't try to steal all the attention, because this is like, I don't even know. I don't even know how many videos we've tried to do because somebody keeps pushing his toys underneath the island here in the kitchen and barking at me while I'm doing my videos. So I have to stop and get him. We have been infusing our cortisol tea, which I'll put the link to the one I use below. Do research on those herbs before you start taking them, because some herbs, if you have a hot temperature, run a little hot, more hot tempered, swift to anger, perimenopausal, and having hot flashes, some herbs can actually make those symptoms worse. If you have dry skin, if you're taking nettle, it can actually make your skin worse. So there's a lot of things. Do your research. Don't just trust somebody on the internet that says, this is what I use. Do your own research, please. So we're going to see if Fergus, who is 6 months old and totally runs the world, if y'all didn't know, this is your new president. But we're going to see if he behaves himself so we can actually get a message across today, or if we're going to have to go to puppy jail. We're going to have to go to puppy jail? He's like, no, we don't want to go to puppy jail. You like the flowers? So we'll see if he behaves himself for the rest of this video. I don't know. Maybe I'm not supposed to make a video today. So if you see this, he behaved. So I wanted to talk about the messaging that is kind of out there right now. And it's not a bad thing, right? But I do find that we find ourselves getting paralyzed with what we can and can't do, because we hear all these great ideas, right? Everybody's like, try this tincture, move to this farm, buy this, herb, do this with your homestead, buy this homestead, move to this state, right? There's so much out there, right? And everybody thinks their opinion is the most factual and the best information. And there's lots of good information out there, right? And if you've been watching videos for a while and you've been trying to figure out where you're going to move to or what you're figuring out, while you're doing that, you don't have to stay in this state of paralysis of where you're like, well, when I get my homestead, I'm gonna. But if you don't ever get your homestead, right? Then you have zero talents, zero knowledge, and you're just living in the city and it hits the fan. I would highly recommend for those who are in a place where, maybe you're older and you can't take on these massive gardens, but you still want to get your hands dirty, right? You want to play in the dirt. Container gardening is where it's at, especially for my herbs. So I found myself, right, and I'll give you my own personal struggles, because I do find it's best to speak from our own struggles, not just, hyperbole a bunch of worst possible case scenarios. But I have moved quite a lot in the past 10 years, for different reasons. Not bad, just moved. And every time, right, I've met new people. I have wonderful friends in all the states that I've lived in. I can literally pick up the phone and call any one of them when I'm coming into town, and they will meet me, and I still love them, and we're friends. And so I find that as a blessing, right? Like I was sent there to meet you, right? But if you're doing that, it's hard. Your vegetable gardens, right? You can plant those every year. You can move to a new place, put a new one in the ground, start over if you have to, right? It's not easy, but it can be done. Herbs take time, right? Some herbs you don't even harvest until year 2 or year 3. And you've got to know, are you on year 2? Are you on year 3? Cool thing is, a lot of plants will tell you if you're in year 1 or 2 or 3, right? Like mullein, right? First year mullein, she stays low to the ground. Second year, shoots a stalk off, right? So there are attributes that these plants will tell you to be able to help you figure out where they are in their life cycle. But if you're not watching them all the time and you're on top of them, it's kind of hard to tell. Well, how do we get experience with things? Well, we can read books and watch videos and do all of that type of stuff. But honestly, the best way to do it is to get your hands dirty. In the worst case scenario, a poor herb dies, or a plant dies. But it's not the end of the world, because as long as you learn something from that situation, all is not lost. So I personally found myself very paralyzed when it came to my herbal gardens, because I have an idea of what I want my herb garden to look like. But friends, I know this is going to be a shock. I am not independently wealthy, so I cannot just go and build that herb garden tomorrow, right? If I had $100,000 at my disposal, my life would probably be a lot easier, because I could just be like, this is what I want, and poof, it would happen. But this is not my reality. And that's fine. There's a reason God made a lot of poor people. He loves them. But with that being said, I didn't want to continue down this road where I didn't get experience with these plants, because again, I can read all the herbal books I want. I am currently working on becoming a master herbalist. I'm working on becoming a certified naturopath, like all of this type of stuff, right? And it's great. And I'm learning great things in these books. But to read about echinacea in a book is very different than to actually get the plant and feel the leaf and understand how she's growing and look for different insects and check out the cone flower and what's going on there, and like really being hands-on with these things. And so if you find yourself in a situation where maybe you cannot escape the city yet, and you still want the experience, you can container garden your herbs. You're going to take a little more maintenance on your part. But I actually grow mine. So that was kind of the other thing, is I felt paralyzed because of my front porch. My front porch is screened in and I love it. But it was kind of a weird shape, and it was a dead zone, and it was kind of a catch-all, and I couldn't find the furniture I needed, because I will not go and pay $1,000 for patio furniture. That's just ridiculous. I have animals. I can see me spending $1,000 on a seating set and my cat just throwing up day one. Fergus is now destroying some paper underneath here, so we'll see. Hopefully y'all don't hear it. So with that, right, I wanted to turn that space into a place where I could just kind of escape and relax and study my herbs and keep my herbal diary and play with drying things and firsthand knowledge. And here's the thing, right? Most of your herbs, if you live in Missouri, this plant right here grows on the side of the road like a weed. It's everywhere. Do not harvest your herbs from the side of the road, guys. People spray, there's junk from cars, but where are all the herbs? Freaking side of the road. I would probably go 10 to 15 feet off the road if I was going to harvest anything. So with that, right, I really wanted to play with these things, and I wanted to stop this paralysis of like, oh, well, I can't grow this because of that, or I don't know if I really want to put that comfrey there because the comfrey can absorb PAs, which if you ingest too much comfrey, it can actually cause liver issues. Topically, you don't have those issues. And this is why, if I come on here and I'm like, hey, this is my favorite detox, or hey, this is my favorite calming tea, or whatever, please research your own herbs and see what they're going to do with your constitution and your body type. Don't just take things without reading about them. That's common sense 101. But again, I wanted to stop paralyzing myself with, I have gardened my entire life pretty much except for a small 10-year span. And that was like my 20s, mid-20s into mid-30s. I grew up on a 50-acre farm. I canned with my grandmother. I sat on the porch. Oh my gosh, how many bushels of corn have I shucked? It's just, if I knew then I was supposed to save the corn still, I'd have been a lot better off. But, so I wanted to not move forward. And I wanted to encourage you guys not move forward either. If you find yourself in a situation where you cannot escape to the country yet, maybe financially, maybe because of work, maybe because of maybe you have aging parents and you can't leave them yet, right? So you're kind of stuck where you are until you figure out that situation. This doesn't mean that you cannot perfect your skills. This doesn't mean you can't work on things. I mean, like, all of that stuff can happen. So what I would highly suggest is whatever your desire and love and whatever is, to get you some pots. This is my favorite pot ever. I don't pay full price for anything. I love a coupon. I found this for $10. Which for the size of that pot and the painting and as pretty as it is, that was a steal. This one was $8. Isn't she beautiful? Probably need a bigger pot because my echinacea has decided to go out the roof. Grow these things in pots. So I took that dead space, which was my front porch, the screened-in porch, and I now have 17 different herbs growing out there. I've got tooth plant, I've got marshmallow, I've got oregano, I've got licorice root, I've got turmeric, I've got them all, right? And I've got ginger, like all these different things I'm trying in different pots because, again, worst case scenario, if it doesn't work out, I learned something, right? Again, if you live in the city and you're kind of trapped, but you want to learn canning, go to your local farmer's market, buy from a reputable source, get yourself a canner, get yourself a water bath, and start playing with it. People can ransack your homesteads and take everything from you. People can ransack your house and take everything from you, but the knowledge that you acquire in your brain, nobody can take from you, unless they bring back lobotomies. Then they can probably take it. So stop telling yourself that you can't do these things or projecting into your future. What if tomorrow doesn't come? What if you never get the homestead? What if the homestead you get isn't what you thought it was and it's going to take years to build it up from the ground? And do you know how hard, and I know from personal experience, how hard it is to build up a homestead while trying to acquire skills, while trying to, it's just too much. You cannot serve that too many masters, and you can't possibly learn that much. That's why when I got back into homesteading, I didn't have to invest a lot of time in canning and preserving food because I did it when I was 12. So I already knew the basics. I've done it, right? That's why like adding soap was the next logical step, or making my tinctures, or whatever, because that was the next step. If you wait until you get to your homesteads or your suburbs or wherever you're going, somebody's really mad about his paper right now. If you wait until then, it's too late. Because there's always, look how much I don't put out videos. There's always something that is going to take time and precedence away from you. He's going to be in trouble. Stop. So there's always going to be something that takes that away from you, your time and your energy. The biggest lie we tell ourselves when we're homesteading, yeah, I get that done in 30 minutes. 3 hours later, because the cow escaped, or your neighbor came over and he needed your help to move something, you get to the end of the day and you're like, I didn't get anything done today. So if you wait until you're there to learn your skills, to read about your herbs, to grow some echinacea in a pot, to grow some bee balm in a pot, to grow your hyssop in a pot, it's just wasted time. And you can do all the videos you want to do. You can listen to me scream at you, right, until you get to your homestead about, oh, do this and do this and do this. But until you get your hands in that dirt and get it under your fingernails and start to look at these leaves and read pest and feel the sides of it and understand the difference between this echinacea and that echinacea. And guys, there's medicinal echinacea and there's ornamental echinacea. You want to know the difference, because God forbid you go down to the garden center and you see a big rack of echinacea on sale and you buy it, come to find out it's ornamental. It's not medicinal. All right, well, you have really pretty flowers, but that's not going to do you any good in the long run. They've taken a lot of herbs and they have propagated them into ornamental varieties. This smells amazing, by the way. So you have to make sure that you are using trustworthy seeds and everything else that you need to. Fergus, stop. So I would highly recommend finding a reputable seed company. I was super excited this morning. I went out there and my milky oats are sprouting. I'm super excited because milky oats is actually something I'm now currently, well, oats, but something I'm currently studying in my herbal class right now is nervines and how they work to calm the nerves and everything else. And so like, I was like, you know what? I want to do it. So I got some oats, right? Organic, non-GMO, the best you can buy on the market. And they've already sprouted. It's been 3 days. Is it all going to work out? No. Gardening, homesteading, all of that is going to teach you things die. You have setbacks. You don't know as much as you think you know. And every year you think you have it mastered, enter a new pest predator. It's just how it works. And this is why you can never get comfortable and you can never become complacent and you can never get locked into this mentality of, oh, well, when I get my homestead, or when I get my goats, or when I get this, or when I get that. Dreaming's great. But don't stay locked in the dream. Learn something now. Learn how to make cheese, right? Learn how to can. Play with herbs. If you live in a city apartment, get a freaking tomato pot, put it out on your patio, and learn how to grow tomatoes. Because we paralyze ourselves because we fall in love with the dream. But I'm going to tell you from personal experience and collective 20 plus years of homesteading and gardening and everything else, it's hard. And burnout is real, and you have to pull back and you have to assess. Like, I don't grow as much as I used to. It's just me. What's the point in a 2-acre garden now? Where do you draw the line between hoarding and prepping? If you're constantly buying food and you're not eating it and it's rotting on your shelves, you're just wasting revenue, right? You're just wasting your assets. So be calculated. Understand you're going to make mistakes. Understand that you can kill your echinacea. Your bee balm might not like you anymore. This one has a lovely spider sitting on it right now. Apparently, spiders like bee balm. Spiders do not like basil, though. So we might have pesto like crazy around here because I hate spiders. Especially after my youngest got bit last year and lost a good chunk of her muscle from a brown recluse. But I did want to just kind of say, like, guys, I know because I do it myself, right? Oh, when I do this are the dreams. The dreams are beautiful, but the reality is there's only so much time in a day. And if you don't focus on learning a skill or learning a talent, and don't try to do something every day, that's just too much. It's too much. There's too much to learn. So take a day off. I highly recommend a day of rest. Pull back, kind of have some downtime. Think about what you can do and not what you can't do. If you're like, hey, I'm going to study comfrey, go get you a pot, grow you some comfrey, see how it is, feel it, touch it, understand it, learn the characteristics. So when you're in the wild, you're like, yep, that's echinacea. Because it has this leaf style, it has this roughness, it has this scalloped edge. That's how you survive. It's not your assets that are going to get you through hard times. It's really your knowledge and how you can help your tribe and how you can help yourself and learning basic medicinal things and learning first aid and all of these types of things. Like maybe go take first aid classes, right? Maybe you can't grow anything because you don't even have a patio. Okay, figure out something else you can do. Learn a skill, and not just from watching videos. And I know, sounds counterproductive to tell people on YouTube not to watch videos, but not only watch videos. Learn how to make soap. There's many methods of making soap. So learn how to make soap. Learn how to make tinctures. Order your herbs. I mean, this whole cabinet is full of dry herbs. If you have honeysuckle, guess what, guys? Japanese honeysuckle is medicinal. So learn how to make that tincture while it's in season. A lot of herbs are very powerful when they're in this form. Some herbs are better dried, but a lot more are better like this. Like I was saying, the milky oats. Can't make milky oats with dry. You're going to have the milky oats, which is where oatmeal comes from. So again, stop paralyzing yourself. Stop telling yourself you can't do it. Look at these plants. Am I going to tell me that you can't grow echinacea in a pot? That you can't grow bee balm in a pot? I've also got oregano in a pot, and I've got thyme in a pot. Thyme in a bottle. I've got, my herbs have herbs, and some of them probably aren't going to make it. But it's an experiment, and you learn. And it's a lot better to learn now when you can still go to the store, or you can still order stuff online, or you can still do that type of stuff, instead of waiting and trying to do it all at once. You can't do it all. It's impossible. It's impossible. Even the Amish can't do it all. If you go to the Amish communities and look at them, there's one family that gardens, there's one family that does hay, there's one family that does this, and they all barter and they all change out with each other. Because even they know you can't do it all. Although seeing the Amish at the Dollar General buying milk is always disheartening, but I have seen it with my own eyes. Sometimes even the Amish want a vacation. I can't say I blame them. So yeah. So I would highly recommend, if you find yourself in that paralyzed state of what can I do while I wait, grow something. Learn about something. I'm telling you, I would highly recommend growing this for the smell alone. I know those of you that are like, oh, it smells weird. Okay, well, you just have a different olfactory than I do. That's amazing. Don't allow yourself to tell yourself that you can't do things. You can. You absolutely can. But don't feel like you have to go out there and you have to fight. I see so many people fail at this because they take on too much at once. It's like these stair sacks, and I get that there's a lot of videos out there that are telling you, world's going to end tomorrow, everybody's going to die, blah, blah, blah. Cool. But that's not happening right now. So right now, today, I'm going to focus on what I can focus. I'm going to love my echinacea plants. I'm going to hug my bee balm. I'm going to go play with the spiders on the porch. I'm going to sit down with my herbal books, and I'm going to learn, I think we're into elderberry right now, learning about all the benefits of elderberry. We're in the immuno system. Pick up a book, read it, learn it, watch a video, get really curious about something, grow it, do it. You won't regret it. And if it dies, don't beat yourself up. Like, yeah, that one just wasn't meant to be. Sometimes they're root bound. Sometimes they have diseases we don't know about while we're learning. And so we just have to figure it out. This kind of feels, don't use echinacea as toilet paper. I would not recommend that. So yeah, so that's my encouragement for you guys. Don't allow yourself to be paralyzed. If you can do something small, even if it's going to your farmer's market and canning some items to get familiar with canning and water bathing, or maybe your neighbor has an overabundant supply of milk that they want to donate to your homestead, learn how to make cheeses and butters, and do the small things while you're in limbo. Don't wait until you get to your homestead. By then, you already need basic skills. I was fortunate enough, like I said, when I moved to my original homestead, that I had 15 to 20 years plus of knowledge that I could just tap into. And some things I had to relearn, and some things I had to refresh, because, some things, muscle memory, right? Like you have to, the bits and pieces will come back, but not everything will. What is your malfunction, sir? Okay, so Fergus says I have rattled on too long, but I do want to just encourage you guys, you ladies, find pretty pots. Instead of putting non-useful, flowers in a pot, put you some herbs in a pot and try. Dry your own herbs, see what that looks like. Again, these are skills that are going to be useful, and maybe you won't use it, and maybe you will screw it up. Great. I learn from my failures, not my successes. I learn a lot from my failures. So, That's your encouragement. Stay strong, guys. Stay busy. Stay learning. Stay focused. And you will be amazed. I'm going to put a shot at what my final porch looked like when I was done for some encouragement. And love you guys. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time. And at this rate, it'll probably be 6 to 8 months from now, though. Alrighty? Bye, guys.